Welcome everybody to some more VoxelSniper. Now, as you might be able to tell, a couple things different. Thing one, had a little setup issues today, so no webcam, but that's just for this video. And maybe some of the future ones, but thing two is that we're in a different world. We're not in that other server anymore. That was a map making thing that was a nice reintroduction for me, at least, to get back into VoxelSniper. But I have thought of a new application for VoxelSniper that I want to use instead. That would probably be something that I will more realistically be able to actually implement and actually have you guys be able to use. Something that I tweeted the other day that is useful information to a lot of you is that the server host is going to need to change for the donator IP, which for you, or donator server, which all that means for all you guys that there's going to be a new IP, which I'll spread through the stream and I'll spread through everything else. Hey, look, a jungle temple. Let's go check it out. But for me, that means that I'm switching companies who host it, because the company that I currently use, who I have that partnership with, I believe is ending offering Minecraft server hosting. I believe they're done, so there goes that partnership and everything, which is too bad, and they were nice guys, and they had a great service and everything. I didn't have any problems with them, and their support was always great, so, you know, that is sad to hear, but, I guess that's just how it goes. Anyways, nothing too exciting in those chests. Anyways, I like to take things like this, though, which are kind of a bite and kind of unfortunate, and turn them into a new opportunity. So that's what I want to do. So I've been thinking long and hard about what I want to do with this whole new server. I'm going to have to be paying someone else. I might be able to get more RAM or less RAM or whatever, and I can set it up however I want. Maybe if I, you know, now that I have this time, because I have to plan ahead anyways, right? I have to plan ahead on who I'm going to go with and how I'm going to set it up. I mean, you guys talked about essentials before and everything like that, which was something that I was missing in the last one. So this is a chance for me to do it right and maybe make it a little bigger. So that's what we're going to do. And I decided what I would attempt to do. Also, I could solve the griefer problem. What I would attempt to do is to actually move, and I know this kind of sucks because we just killed the Ender Dragon and we're just working on an end farm and we just kind of got that place set up, but we might have to start a new world, which actually some people were asking for, so maybe that's not so bad. But what I'm going to attempt to do is create a server using these plugins and maybe some more. PlotMe, Multiverse Core, Craft Economy 3, VoxelSniper, Buycraft. I might also replace Multiverse Core with something called Multi-World. So, what those do, I'll go over this. PlotMe creates a plot world, right? So, it generates a world that is broken up into squares of certain kinds that everyone can claim these plots, and they're the only ones who can edit those plots. So that's going to stop griefing when people want to make big buildings and stuff like that. But what I don't like about worlds like that is that, you know, you can only build things in these square plots. You have to go gather the resources elsewhere. You're starting a super flat world. That's what it is. It's a super flat world. And it's so limiting in what you can do. So I want to also make sure that I have a vanilla world so people can build things in the side of a mountain, so that people can still, you know, build in a jungle or make mob farms that are from spawners and stuff like that. So, but, you know, I can't police worlds like that for griefing. So what it's going to be is going to be this world here that we're in, probably this world, or we might start a new world and just carry over the schematics and stuff like that, but who knows, I'll talk a bit more about that later. It's going to be this world here that is just completely unchecked. So people could come in and grief it to hell, but that's okay because everyone still has their plots, and this is where you're going to come to gather resources. Also, PvP will be on for this world, which is something we'll talk about more later too. Okay, then I have Multiverse Core, which is handling multiple worlds, right? So that's going to make that, I need that in order to get the plot world going, as well as some other worlds, which I'll talk about in a second. Craft Economy is a nice, very simple thing that I just set up and I haven't really learned how to use, which will handle some money. So there's certain kinds of monies that we have, which we'll talk about in a later episode and a later date on the server setup stuff. And what that's going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to sell your items for money and then buy items for money from the store and stuff like that. It's also going to allow you to there's also possibly, I'm not sure, there's possibly going to be some PvP mini games on this server in another world. Maybe. I have to see. I'm writing those plugins myself, so I have to see if I can learn how to do a functioning game there. And if you win those games, you'll also get some money. So the idea is that you will be able to get this money and spend it on stuff like, you know, enchantment books, or, you know, you could spend a couple of dollars on like a infinity one if you're having trouble getting an infinity bow, or silk touch or something, or maybe diamond tools, that kind of thing. A horse egg, you know, a mob egg that will maybe make it so that you can do stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to do. Which I like, and also what that'll do is it'll make the plot worlds a little better, because you can actually put a plot world of a shop where you guys can sell some of your own items for money and then buy you know, other items from other players with money, rather than just, you know, leaving it in a chest and hoping that people leave the items behind, which works in a server where you know everyone, but since it's a donator server, you might not know all my viewers, don't know all my other viewers, and some people can't be trusted, etc., etc. But today, that's what I'm working with. VoxelSniper is temporary. It's only for me to build some stuff, and then Buycraft is to handle people to donate or to pay for the server to get some certain features and stuff like that, which is something we'll have to work out a little later. Okay, so we've already been talking for like 6-7 minutes, and that's too long to be talking and not doing anything. So let's start doing something. Thing one we're gonna do. VoxelSniper. That's temporary to build some stuff. Now, I want to work with Craft Economy first, because I want to make sure that we have a nice system for spending and getting money and stuff like that, because I want you to be able to spend that money on access to the other worlds. When I'm going to lower the price to get onto the server. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'm going to lower it. It's going to be cheap. And then when you get on, you get access to this vanilla world here. Unprotected, ungriefed, no access to plots, no access to PvP world, if there is a PvP world. Then I want you to be able to gain access through a couple different means. And that gaining, and that what that will do is it'll kind of give people an incentive to keep playing and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see how it works. This is all potentially reworkable, and this all might even be way over my head because I haven't been doing stuff like this for too long, so we'll see. If any of you have knowledge in this area, let me know. I would love the help. Now, I'm afraid to update that. Yeah, shouldn't have done that. I was wondering why that wasn't flowing. Well, we'll leave that like that. Okay, so first things first, VoxelSniper, because we are going to build a little village sort of deal where you can buy some items from shops that have infinite amounts of those items with your monies, and sell things probably too. So I want the shop to be in this area. I built this portal thing here, but I think I'm not actually going to use it. That'll probably be deleted because I think I'm just going to let you type like teleport me to the PvP world, and then it goes, which we'll see what happens. So let's start the basics of VoxelSniper. So, thing one for VoxelSniper, a really important introduction, which we're going to do very quickly. So, if you type /B and then a number, you set your brush size. You know what? Let me talk about what VoxelSniper is first. VoxelSniper is like a painting thing where you use the gunpowder and the arrow and maybe some other tools to sort of just paint your world however you want it. For example, I'm not going to go over this command right now, but, oops. I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab the birchwood, which we'll all talk about in a second, and I can just, whoa, look at that, just painting on some logs, right? I can also undo those options. So that's kind of the general gist here. So now I'm going to go over some of the basics of the mod. So I have this piece of glowstone. Let's say that I want to, again, skipping over the command for now. Let's say that I want to paint this glowstone into a log, and I'm going to do that in a couple different ways. I could paint. First thing I could do is just do that, right? I'll go over that in a second. Point is, I used the arrow to select the block I'm pointing at. Okay, let's undo that. If I use the gunpowder, I use the block as if I was placing a block, right? So I'm looking at the glowstone, and I'm looking at the top of the glowstone, so it's going to make it on the top of the glowstone. If I look on the side, it's going to make it on the side, right? So you see how that works? So it's sort of like the arrow is to replace blocks, and the gunpowder is to place it on top of it or around it. So that's an important distinction to make, which you'll see more of that in a minute. And then finally, we have some basic commands. So /B is what you want to use to edit your brush that you're using. The brush that I showed before, BD, makes a disc. So if I use the gunpowder, again, it's going to be on top. You see a disc of wood on top of the sand. If I were to use the arrow, it would replace the sand. See how it's even with the sand now? Alright, you're starting to see how that works. If I want to change the size of that disc, I need to change the size of my brush, which is /B and then a number. So 3 makes it only 3. That's a little smaller, right? Type /U to undo. And if I do /U space 2, it undoes the last 2 operations. Okay, so now /B. B is a ball, and that makes a ball, right? You can see that one's a little higher than that one, but they're both balls, and if you look under here, it goes underneath. It's a perfect sphere. That's pretty useful, isn't it? Let's see, what else? Now, let's get into something more relevant to what we're... Oh, there's one more, actually, I should do. /bset. So what bset does is really cool. I'm going to grab some sand, and I'm going to build up a bit. Now, you select 2 points. So, like, let's select this point. Right-click with the arrow. Selected point. Go up top over here. Select it. Right-click with the arrow again. Select the second point. And it fills it in with a cube of whatever block you said you wanted to do. So that's something for building big structures that's going to come very much in handy. So you get to see how this works. As I use brushes, I'll go over what they do, and every single time I reuse a brush, I'll continue to go over what it does until we kind of figure it out. But the next brush I'm going to use is one we haven't seen yet, and it's one of my favorites, /BBB, which is the blend ball. Actually, is there a BD blend disk? There is a blend disk. Let's do the blend ball first, because I know how that works. So BBB, and I'm going to set my brush size to 5. And if I use the gunpowder, you will see that it kind of evenly raises the terrain, right? But that's kind of weird. It doesn't look all that good. But if I now right-click with the arrow, it's going to carve away and smooth at it, and that's what you really want. You see that? So now it's like smoothing up. It works better on bigger things, but it's kind of making it nice, neat, and natural looking, which I think is awesome. Let's undo a whole bunch of things. Yeah, okay, it's not going to let me. So if I want to get rid of that, I'm going to select air by looking up at the sky, shift left clicking with the arrow. That's how you select what block you want to use. I'm going to go to bset. I'm going to select a block over here at the corner, a block up here at the top. I'm just going to keep doing that, really, until it turns back to air. It looks kind of neat and unorganized, but it's actually the neatest way to do this. So the next thing we're going to do, and the end of this first episode, now that I did a lot of talking, unfortunately, but trying to keep these episodes concise, and I'm trying to talk mainly about one thing each episode. So this episode we talked about our plans for the overall server, and then the possibility, or then the blend brush is what we're mainly talking about, because we are preparing our area. See that even that is slower than just grabbing these and hucking away at a couple blocks at a time. So /0. Alright, so /BBB, blend ball again with a disk size of 5. It's still there, so I can start smoothing away at this, right? Preparing this area for it. looking good. I don't know. Like I said, you know what? Well, no, we'll leave that for now. So this village is going to be here in the desert, and it's going to be... Here, this area is looking a little too... I don't know. Oh, then this happens because it's a desert, because there's sand. Oops, sorry, I was pressing shift. And so that's too bad. We'll have to... if you can use the gunpowder to fill it in, and then recarve back again with the arrow. Well, alright, so my apologies to the people yelling outside if you can hear them. So, I don't know, this is kind of like a nice looking area here, just kind of, oh, that's the other thing, is it gets rid of grass, which is, for some reason it makes red stained, oh, Jesus, they're yelling. Why are you yelling? Alright. Anyway, so sometimes you're going to have to come in and manually do it, which is a little unfortunate. But, yeah. So that's pretty much that. That's how we're going to prepare our area. I think it's pretty much good to go. We can put a couple of big houses here. I think we'll divide it up by area here. So we'll have a building blocks area, we'll have a food area, tools area, that kind of a thing. And, I don't think we're going to sell every item in the game, but we're going to sell most of the ones that you wouldn't want. Like, I don't know if we're going to buy, if the store is going to sell dirt or cobblestone, but it might sell mossy cobblestone, because that's, you know, harder to get and stuff like that. And we'll see how this goes. So that's pretty good, I think. I'm gonna go rolling right into the next episode where we start the actual building of this thing. I'm not sure if it's gonna be one big mall or if it's gonna be a village. I said village earlier, but I haven't really decided completely yet, to be honest. Just kind of smoothing that out right there. I could smooth with this all day. Fortunately, it's just kind of exposed a whole bunch of sandstone there. Oh well. Alright, so I will see you all next episode. Thanks for watching. Give me your suggestions. One thing that would be cool is if you want to submit a building for me to use anywhere, whether it be in my PvP games or if those exist, or in this village here or anywhere else. You can, I think, like Planet Minecraft or maybe even the Minecraft forum, something like that. There are plenty of places where you can upload the schematics if you do know how to do that, if you do know like MC Edit or something like that. And I would totally be open to using those, so send those my way. You can link me to them on Twitter or in the comments or in Twitch or anywhere you want. And that will be cool. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.